Muy buenas a todos y bienvenidos a Saber PC. Bienvenidos a un nuevo vídeo del libro 3 y último de los pilares de la tierra, el ojo de la tormenta. Bueno, vamos a continuar con Aliena, que va en busca de Jack. Hemos recorrido media Francia casi para buscarlo y parece ser que hemos seguido su pista hasta esta catedral. Y bueno, pues durante la búsqueda pues empezó a sentirse mal, nuestro hijo también. Y ahora, pues parece ser que por obra divina de Dios, nuestro hijo se ha recuperado, así que tenemos que rezar. Así que, pues lo más lógico será que entremos en la catedral, pero no puedo entrar. ¿No suelen ser redondos? Nunca los he visto así. Esto no es un buen lugar para rezar. Ah, estatua de la Virgen María. Vale, un buen sitio para rezar, vale. No lo había visto. Pensaba que tendría que entrar dentro de la catedral.
I thank you, dear Lord.
All right, steady now.
I thank you for having spared my child. I thank you for...
Don't let go until it's done.
But why are you showing mercy on me? I failed everyone I cared about. I failed Jack. I failed my brother.
Acá se cae lo que están subiendo.
I would also break the oath I had given Father. It's just that I feel like I've never had a life of my own. I've always fought for others. And this may be the very first time that I fight for something that I only want for myself. Maybe I should just go back and help rebuild Kingsbridge. Maybe Jack doesn't even care for me anymore. Amen.
Amén.
Huh.
Muy bien, ¿y ahora qué? ¡Ah! Una ménsula. ¿Esto no será la ménsula de Jack que hizo en Kingsbridge? ¿Se la ha traído? ¿O la ha rehecho?
It's amazing, isn't it? The man who did that really had it in him.
¿Qué don?
Had what in him?
The spirit of a true mason. It's a shame that the master let him go. In just 1 month he did so many things.
¿Qué hizo?
What did he do?
He came up with ideas for how to make the construction easier. But the master didn't want to hear it. To tell you the truth, everyone thinks that he feared for his own job having someone like that around. The last thing Jack did was carve that cobble.
Jax.
It was the one thing the master let him do. Then when he was done, he was asked to leave.
Se ha cambiado el nombre en francés. Tu maestro dice que no tenía disciplina. Transmite tantísimo dolor.
Your master said he had no discipline.
Let me tell you something. Jacques worked very hard on it. He was impatient and had a temper, but you could see that he tried to overcome it. Conquering that rock was very important to him.
Oh, I understand that so well. Do you happen to know where he went next?
He wanted to walk the pilgrim trail to Santiago de Compostela.
Que se viene a España, loco.
The way of St. James?
He said he might find someone there who knew his father.
Just one more thing. How was he when he left?
Never thought about that. Relieved, I guess. He seemed ready for something new.
Thank you so much for your help.
Think nothing of it. And good luck on your travels. May you find what you are looking for.
O sea que está haciendo el Camino de Santiago. Lol. En un lugar lejano.
Isn't it odd?
¿Rashid?
Just when you stop looking, you come across the most curious of things. Like these 3 devices that one of my merchants brought back from Baghdad.
Oh no. Is it another one of your Banu Musa toys, Rashid?
They're not toys, Adriel. They're objects of scholarly ingenuity and reflection.
I will let my valued friend from the north do the honors.
Jack.
Jack, if you may.
Disculpadme un segundo, tengo que transmitir un mensaje importante que me ha llegado. Así que enseguida nos vemos. Bueno, perdón. Continuemos con Jack. No sé qué es lo que teníamos que hacer, pero parece ser que tenemos que examinar estatua de una dama.
On second thought, why don't you save the lady for last? Otherwise, the other two devices might appear bland and boring in comparison.
I agree.
Vale, recipiente pequeño, artilugio con forma de pájaro, cuenco con agua.
No, it's too heavy.
Vale, recipiente. Ah, me lo llevo, está vacío. ¿What? ¿Y qué me quieres decir con eso? ¿Que coja agua de aquí? Vale, y esto se lo pongo al pajarito esto de estos que hacen clic, clic, clic.
And now?
Now, Jack will heat the water in the tank.
No, coge la vela. Vale, no sé qué estoy haciendo ahora. Rashid no puede saber más. Ah, Rashid no puede saber jamás que quemé la catedral. Vale, ¿y por qué lo iba a saber? Y ahora ponemos esto aquí. Calentamos el agua. Ah, vale, que está conectado a esta caja de aquí. O sea, que imagino que con el vapor del agua... Los Banu Musa. Los hermanos Banu Musa fueron 3 académicos de origen persa que vivieron en el Bagdad del siglo IX. Son conocidos por el Libro de los dispositivos ingeniosos, un compendio ilustrado de aparatos mecánicos y autómatas. Estos últimos se diseñaron sobre todo con fines lúdicos, pero presentaron grandes avances en materia de ingeniería. Los hermanos también escribieron tratados de astronomía, astrología y geometría, el último de los cuales tuvo gran influencia sobre los matemáticos islámicos y europeos de la época. Oh, pues mira, no los conocía estos señores.
How marvelous. How does it work?
Maybe it's a miracle.
Right.
Go on, Jack. Tell them.
Sí, explicarlo, claro. Todo sea por la ciencia.
Wheel inside the box. It turns an axle that in return raises and drops a sequence of small cylinders inside. These cylinders work like fingers playing a flute.
But who is blowing into the flute?
El agua.
Steam.
Steam?
Yes. When I opened the pipe, it gradually pushed itself into the tube.
The power of steam. For once, I must agree. This is brilliant.
Se ha hecho ingeniero ahora, toma ya.
Of course, it was created by a Muslim after all.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. What else have you got, Rashid?
Anyone care for some tea?
Thank you, my daughter. We will have some as soon as Jack has finished our presentation.
Mind if I watch?
Of course not.
So, who is this man, Rashid?
Vale, entonces... ¿Qué toca ahora?
Jack is a friend of the house.
Vale. ¿Lo volvemos a hacer?
A brilliant man, a scholar and
Parece que tenemos que volver a repetir el mismo proceso.
I could watch this man scoop up water all day.
Just the other day, he explained Euclid to me.
You showed it to us already.
Oh,
What is that?
¿qué ocurre?
You showed it to us already.
Eso ya nos lo has enseñado.
A Greek who wrote a book called
Entonces, ¿qué quieres que haga?
Geometry.
Now that's not how she works.
The Egyptians translated it into Arabic, and now the Englishmen are turning it into Latin.
No. ¿Qué hago ahora con el...
How very peculiar.
¿Qué hago ahora con el cacharro este? Ha traído té.
Don't let me distract you, Jack.
Qué bien.
Wouldn't you rather have some tea?
Please stop fooling.
Deja de perder el tiempo. ¿Pero qué quieres que haga? Artilugio con forma de burro. ¿Tengo que llenar el burro? Tengo que llenar el burro. LOL. Pues todas cosas se explican, hombre.
Now, watch the head. Just any moment now. There. Did you see?
It threw up.
Rashid, this is disgusting.
Oh, far from it. Would you kindly explain how it works, Jack?
Es pura magia. ¿Pero por qué me pone esta tontería? Pues explícalo, no sé qué... No sé qué misterio hay en no explicarlo.
That bowl is a small hole. Through it, the bowl is slowly filled with liquid. Once it's full, it sinks, pulling a string which makes the ball drop onto a weight. This, in return, pulls the bowl up again, emptying it in the process.
Thus resetting the entire mechanism.
If you timed it perfectly, you could make it drop a ball at every hour.
Turning it into a clock. How clever.
For me, it's still nothing more than a puking donkey.
Show us more, Rashid.
One could join those two and build a singing donkey clock. One song after every hour.
Sería muy ingenioso. ¿No sería molesto? Hombre, una canción a la hora. No.
That would be pretty clever.
I know, right? You could be the one to build it.
Oh, that would be unfair. It's your invention.
I would let you have it. Or we design it together.
¿Qué está ligando esta chica con nosotros o qué pasa?
Of course. Jack, if you may.
Vale. Estatua de la Virgen María.
Oh, you will love this. Just watch.
Tengo que ponerla en algún lugar fresco. En algún lugar fresco. What the fuck? ¿Es un lugar fresco aquí? ¿Aquí mismo a la mesa? ¿En serio le tengo que coger de aquí y ponerla aquí? ¿A 5 centímetros?
And now?
Just be patient, but don't look away. It takes some time for her to...
To do what?
Is it crying? Isn't that amazing?
No, it's irritating. Rashid, what is going on?
Es un enigma, no lo sabemos.
It's a mystery.
Rashid, please.
We all know that there is no such thing as a man-made miracle.
And this piece of wood is very clearly made by man.
I very much agree, my friends. But so far, none of us has an explanation.
All we know for certain is that her glassy eyes shed tears when you move her from warmth into cold.
Like a plant at sunrise. Like dew. The only difference is the surface. That's all.
Pedirle que siga, tiene razón. ¿Cómo? No entiendo nada. ¿Qué dice esta chica?
I think you may be onto something.
Am I? Of course, I had no intention of disturbing your conversation. But if you can find out why there's dew gathering on a plant, you may understand why that woman is so weepy. So, who wants a cup of tea?
I'll have some.
Your daughter is quite something, Rashid. A scholar in her own right.
I know. I'd rather she wasn't. It would make marrying her off so much easier.
Pues oye, aquí tienes
Certain
un...
that won't stay a problem for long.
Tienes un candidato seguro.
The dew originates from invisible water in the air. Water that stays hidden when it's hot.
En el Camino de Santiago. 3 meses más tarde. Wow. Tío, ¿qué pasa con el texto que pasa súper deprisa?
In the foothills of the Pyrenees. There, the group of 20 or so pilgrims who had been travelling alongside me since I'd left Tours swelled to about 70. Some were prosperous citizens, some probably on the run from justice. A few drunks, and several monks and clergymen. Several languages were spoken, including Flemish, a German tongue, and a southern French language called Op.
Lengua de Oc.
Nevertheless, there was no lack of communication among them, and as we crossed the Pyrenees, they sang, played games, told stories, and in several cases had love affairs. While my baby and I kept mostly to ourselves.
Entonces estamos en España.
Ganz schön frech, die mit ihrem
Peregrinos.
Hush now.
Estos son alemanes. Dar un paseo, disculparse entre los peregrinos, con el BP, te reír una canción. Me parece bien. Canción de la Alondra.
Kann ein Mann nicht einfach mal seine Ruhe haben? Der Weg aus Babenberg war doch anstrengend genug. Ein Kind hat ja auch gar nichts verloren. Stimmt doch, oder?
Jetzt ist aber gut.
Dar un paseo. Sendero, hoguera, ir al río. A ver si con el agua del río se calma. ¿Dónde escuché yo alguna vez que el agua, o sea, el sonido del agua me parecía que calmaba a los bebés? Puente. Han concedido privilegios al pontazgo del pueblo.
Tomorrow.
Río Arga, mujer ciega.
Dear Lord, what are you doing? You should get out of the water. It's freezing.
My ring. I lost my ring. Dear Lord, please show mercy.
He perdido un anillo. Wow. Amores, algunas páginas están empezando a despegarse.
Please come back to me.
Buscar el anillo me pone aquí. ¿Y por qué me lo pone aquí? Ah, ¿que va a dejar el bebé ahí?
Where are you? Where did you go?
I should try to keep him calm. I'm glad I never had to use my dagger on my journey. I'm only keeping it for emergencies.
¿Y cómo? Ah, míralo. Míralo. Está aquí, esto que brilla. Pensaba que iba a dejar el bebé y meterse en el agua, tío. Joder. Lo encontré. Pues hala, dáselo a la señora.
I found it.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You are a very kind woman. So very, very kind.
I'm glad I could help.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Nada, señora, hombre, pero tenga cuidado, no se le vuelva a caer. Háblame del anillo. ¿Llevas entrando en calor?
I can see this ring is very precious to you.
It was a gift from my stepmother. She thought I would stay forever, but I didn't.
¿Por qué te fuiste?
Why did you leave?
Oh, I thought I didn't belong. She always said I was her daughter, but I was sure she was lying. I was so selfish and so stupid. Too stupid to see I really was happy.
Háblame de tu madrastra.
Tell me about your stepmother.
She was such a kind woman. So very, very kind.
Bueno, eso está bien.
Maybe you really weren't happy.
¿Y cuál era el problema?
I don't know. I was very young and thought I was unhappy because I didn't live close to the sea. But in the end, the sea did not feel the same about me. The cold there made me sick. It took away my sight.
Fuiste valiente al marchaste. ¿Por qué no volviste?
It was courageous of you to leave. You did what your heart told you to.
Siempre es complicado tomar esas decisiones.
So stupid.
Ah, that's why you went on the pilgrimage.
Yes, so that St. James might see my devotion, and I will be united with my mother in heaven. I'm just not as kind as you. Not kind at all.
Eres muy dura contigo misma, tenemos mucho en común.
You're too hard on yourself.
I don't know.
I too am trying to make amends with the one man I loved the most. I was told he went straight to Santiago.
You will know soon.
Y te enterarás de que está en la otra punta del mundo,
It's still
seguramente.
4 weeks till I get there.
He'll be there, I'm sure of it.
I hope so. I just feel that with every day that passes, I'm losing him a bit more. And that the only thing I can allow myself still to hope for is not love, but forgiveness.
I understand.
Hey, hush now. Not long now and our journey will be over,
Pues ya veis, Aliena buscando a Jack en España, Jack en a saber dónde. El Camino de Santiago. Dice, el camino es una ruta cristiana de peregrinaje hasta la Catedral de Santiago de Compostela, donde se cree que yacen los restos de Santiago el Mayor, apóstol de Jesús. El peregrinaje a Santiago es considerado, junto a los de Roma y a Jerusalén, uno de los más importantes de la cristiandad. Para los creyentes, emprender esta travesía es la única forma de liberar al peregrino de sus pecados. Llegado el siglo XII, el camino era ya una institución bien organizada. Incluso se escribió un libro a modo de guía de viaje para peregrinos. El Códice Calixtino, la concha de Vieira, símbolo de Santiago y del camino, guía a los peregrinos, quizá porque el mar aguarda al final de su viaje. Mira, Castilla, Navarra, Logroño, Burgos, Bilbao, Pamplona, o sea, está en el País Vasco. Vale, pues nos toca llegar hasta Logroño.
The woman's name was Alba. She came from a small town somewhere in Catalonia. I quickly got used to her constantly feeling out for her stepmother's ring and the sad guilt that would always follow in her milky eyes. I wasn't sure if she appreciated my company, but I couldn't leave her on her own either. By the time we reached Los Arcos, she'd stopped talking, while I kept on dropping a kind word here and there to let her know I was still by her side.
A mí me hace mucha gracia los extranjeros cuando intentan pronunciar algo en castellano, ese acento tan inglés, ¿no? Los Arcos. Es magnífico. Coño, pasamos ya directamente a Burgos.
Alba believed herself to be of weak mind and body, and yet she walked the Camino with a strong sense of purpose that willed her onward. It made me wonder about what I'd told her about my own journey. Did I hope for love, or was I really traveling because I needed him to forgive me? But
Eso
what
solo
was there
sabes
to
tú.
forgive? My decision to marry Alfred had been in the best interest of the people of Shiring. It was a sacrifice I had to make to stop the evil reign of William Hamley. These questions had haunted me for a long time now. But if I really was going to see Jack soon, it was time to make up my mind.
Ostras, hasta León, colega, vos. Anda que no le queda ahí un trecho enorme.
found Leon, the path began to gradually turn uphill. It was only 2 more weeks till we'd reached Santiago. The baby was in a good mood, and so, surprisingly, was Alba.
Uy. Algo ocurre
After
aquí.
Astorga, the trail got more difficult. Alba became slower and slower, and we had to rest more. She became quiet again. The strain on her old body grew, and she worried that she might not be able to reach the end. Still, we managed to push onward.
¿A qué no llega esta señora? Ya veréis. Vale, aquí estamos. Sí, me lo veo. Seguid el camino. Ponferrada.
The next morning, she refused to get up. Her breathing was disturbingly shallow, and she hardly noticed me touching her forehead. Everything hurts, she said, and urged me to continue without her.
O sea que la señora se muere. Mierda. ¿Marcharse sin ella o nos quedamos? A ver, tal y como está, no creo yo que dure mucho esta señora. Ya lo siento. Lo siento mucho, señora. Pero bueno, quedarme, no sé, 1 o 2 días tampoco creo que pase nada. Además, descansaría. Por lo que tampoco quizás me vendría mal, ¿no? Si me voy le dejo que su suerte... Dios. Dios. Quédate.
Of course I stayed with her. I brought her food and water and sat by her side. But day after day, her condition grew worse. She kept on urging me to go, to find Jack, saying the monks of Ponferrada would take care of her.
Confiemos en los monjes.
I was about to leave when a monk stopped me. He urged me to stay at least for another day.
Vale, me parece bien.
And feeling that he was right, I remained. I'd hardly known her, and most of the time she'd tried to push me away, as if she considered herself a nuisance that slowed me down and who didn't deserve company. It wasn't until a few moments before she died that, for the first time, she smiled at me, and I like to believe that she saw me smile back. I still like to believe that here, in this unlikely place, dying next to a near stranger, she'd found a moment of serenity and happiness, but she'd not reached Santiago. When I left, that thought still haunted me. To see that a journey could come to an end so suddenly. But what would be different if she had reached Santiago? Could she have been disappointed by what she found?
Estaba claro que iba a pasaros. Estaba clarísimo. Pues nada, último trozo hasta Santiago de Compostela. Tras un mes en el Camino de
After
Santiago.
months of hard travel, the child and I finally reached Santiago de Compostela. In the evening, we attended Mass in the great cathedral, then started to roam the town looking for my dear Jack. It was almost dawn when finally a priest pointed me to an inn close by.
Bueno, pues llegamos a Santiago. Posadero. Pues es una señora. ¿Lo pone en masculino? Bueno, pues no parece mal. Una rata ahí, bueno. Empiezo a olvidar los rasgos de su cara. Nos los estamos olvidando de Jack. Pues nada, gente, ahora que hemos llegado ya tras meses de viaje por toda España en busca de la iluminación divina en Santiago, no sé. Vamos a dejar el capítulo de hoy por aquí, gente, así que ya sabéis, darle like si os ha gustado el vídeo, suscribiros si no estáis y nos vemos en el próximo vídeo de los pilares de la tierra. Así que, adiós.